Hello and welcome. My name's Ollie from V for Life or Vegetarian for Life. I've done quite a few sessions with the Royal Voluntary Service before, but for those who haven't joined one, we are the only charity that support vegans and vegetarians over the age of 50, and we do that through various means. We have lots of publications on our website, lots of recipes. We've got things like vegan baking, gourmet vegan, and how to veganize classic dishes, which I'm going to be delving into today, cooking some of the recipes in that. I'm going to make a protein-packed breakfast today, vegan breakfast. It's Men's Health Week this week, so it's going to be focused around that. As men, we need generally more calories than women, just because generally we're bigger and we have more muscle mass. Of course, that's a generalization. As vegans, we need a mix of complex carbs, protein, good fats, but this is all completely doable on a vegan diet. Things like whole wheats, fruit, vegetables as carbs, and then for protein, again, whole grains, beans, which I'm going to be using a lot today, tofu I'm going to be using a lot today, and we need this for growth, repair, and good fats as well. Olive oil, avocado. This is essential for fatty acids, helping to absorb fat-soluble vitamins, and also for lots of body functions as well. So don't miss out on fats. We all need good fats. So on the menu today, we've got some breakfast sausages. There's loads of sausages out there, burgers, loads of meat products, fake meat products in the shops. But you can make your own sausages as well. I'm going to be using some beans, some ground almonds, so really packed full of protein. I'm going to be making some potato latkes, which are basically like hash browns. I'm also going to be making a scrambled tofu dish. It's like a bit like scrambled eggs if you're new to veganism, or if you want to try something without eggs. This is a great dish. I make it a lot, and there's so many variations of it as well. So hopefully you'll like this one. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make the sausages. So you need a blender for that, a good blender. That mine's not so good, so bear with me. And I've got 200 grams of beans. Any beans will do for this. Kidney beans are particularly good. They're just going to lend that sort of red quality. I've got some black beans here and some mushrooms as well. Mushrooms are great in things like this. They've got a great texture, great meaty texture, so really good for meat substitutes. They also have lots of vitamin D, which often people miss out on a vegetable-based or plant-based diet. So a really good food to include, and also some B vitamins and things like that. All beans are great. All have a real plethora of vitamins and nutrients. Like I say, high in protein, lots of B vitamins again. And we're just going to bungle this into the blender. I've drained the beans, just a 400 gram can of beans. I'm doing a half recipe, so it's 200 grams I'm using of the beans. And you'll probably make, from the full recipe, you'll make about 4 sausages. So I should make about 2 whoppers from this. I've got my beans, got my mushrooms, and then I want about 25 grams of ground almonds. So that's about 2 tablespoons. And then I want some fresh thyme. You can use dried thyme, or any real herb will do for this. So super versatile. You could add a bit of chili in here as well. That'd be lovely if you like a bit more extra spice. I've just got some thyme from my garden. It's flowering at the moment. It's going absolutely crazy. So I've got plenty of that. A little bit of smoked paprika. Like I say, you can add a bit of chili as well if you like a bit of heat. Just a pinch of that. A garlic clove. Always like to get a bit of garlic in there. Such a great flavour enhancer. But if you're not a fan, or if you've got some people have issues with garlic, with digestion. So just admit that if that's the case. So I'm just going to roughly chop that. Pop that in. And then good ground pepper. Good pinch of salt. And that's really it. Then I'm gonna add a touch of water just because my blender's not very good. So just to get things moving a little bit. But you don't want these to be too wet. They are quite a soft sausage anyway. They won't really cook on a barbecue or anything like that. The recipe, you cook them in the pan, you fry them in the pan in some oil. You can also chuck them in the oven, which is what I'm going to do today. So a little bit healthier. I'm going to be frying lots of things today. So I'm just going to do these a bit differently. So you want it quite coarse, but just get those big lumps ground down. What you can also do, forgot about this, add a little bit of protein powder. You can add some breadcrumbs to bulk it as well, but if you really want to max out the protein, add in a couple of tablespoons of protein powder. This is a hemp protein powder, so it's vegan friendly. And you can get those in most shops these days. So a really good way of upping your protein intake. We need more protein as we get older. And it's essential for repair, like I say. Yeah, a touch more water to this. And then all we're going to do, we're going to form them into a rough sausage shape. Coat them in some breadcrumbs. I've got some panko breadcrumbs here, so really lovely. If you've used those before, you can get really crisp. Really crisp results. So just give that a shake. Right, I think that should do it. So get yourself a good blender. So get yourself a shallow bowl or plate, and then chuck in the breadcrumbs. And if your mixture is a bit watery, you can add a bit of flour to that, a tablespoon of flour, and some more breadcrumbs. Because I added the water to get it moving. Now it's a little bit loose. It's not too bad. So dog it into your bowl or your plate. And then, like I said, I should be able to make about 2 sausages with this. So make sure you cover them completely with the breadcrumbs. You can roll it and pat it. Until you've got something that roughly resembles a sausage. Of course, you can make little patties of these as well, little veggie burgers, and just play around with the flavours. There we go. So we've got 2 sausages. I'm going to put them in the oven, 180 for about 20 minutes. On a greased baking pan. And then we can crack on with everything else. So the hash browns or potato latkes. In here, I've got one grated potato and one small grated onion. I've soaked it in a bit of water for a few minutes, tried to squeeze out all the water through a clean tea towel. And that's really to sort of reduce the starch and help with the frying process. And then to this, I'm going to add some mixed herbs, just a pinch, dried mixed herbs, clove of garlic. I'm going to try and mash this up so it's fine. So just crush it with the blade. And that skin pops off. And then just mix it up. You could use a press if you want to as well, much easier. Pop in the garlic. Season liberally. These are particularly good with lots of black pepper. Salt. Let's get my hob on. And then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of plain flour. And this will bring them together. You can also add a bit of paprika again into this. I don't really want everything to taste the same. Just a little pinch of that. And the flour just really helps with the binding. A bit like a rosti or a hash brown. And then we really just squeeze it together, get out a large tablespoon at a time, and you can squeeze it together. Try and get them quite thin, so they're going to cook nicely, and then we've got something like that. So heat up the pan. And then we want a fair amount of oil with this. I've got some light olive oil, which is really good for frying, rather than an extra virgin olive oil, which is better for sort of drizzling and sauces and things like that. I'm just going to make a couple of these. So really squeeze them together. Like so. And when the pan's nice and warm, about 100 milliliters of oil, so you sort of shallow frying them. You can drop a little bit of mixture in there and see if it bubbles and fizzes, and you know it's hot enough. Drop in the hash browns. And then we're just going to fry them for a few minutes on one side, flip them over, and do the other side as well. Chuck in another one while I'm at it. I've got the space. So like I say, these work better if they're thin. A little space for myself. Looking good already, nice bit of browning on there already. This little induction hob is a super efficient, bit of kit, better than my kitchen here. In a bit of a different environment than usual. I've moved house, so my kitchen's a bit too tiny to sort of get cameras and things in. So got this set up, which I think is perhaps better. So it's smelling really good. I can see a lot of browning already, so I might just flip those over. Lovely and crispy. You can see that. I'll give you a good look in a minute. And they really hold together, so there's no egg in this, which you often use to bind them. Okay, flip that over. And you can really sort of press them down to squeeze them even more. You don't want any raw bits of potato or onion in there. I meant to get some baked beans today, I completely forgot, which are obviously an essential part of a cooked breakfast. And providing lots of protein as well. There's a lot of protein in, I think about 12 grams of protein in just half a can of baked beans. And we generally need about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. So it's really not difficult with a breakfast like this. You're easily going to get that. So these are looking really good. I'm just going to flip them over again, just to make sure the other side's cooked. And then I'll be starting on the scrambled tofu. For this I've got some firm tofu. You can use silken tofu, the soft tofu as well, to give a slightly softer scrambled egg. So it's really just up to you what you prefer. Let's turn the heat off on that. And have a little look. Look at that beautiful, crispy, rusty. So pop them to the side. You can even use a bit of kitchen towel or an old tea towel to soak up a bit of that oil as well. But look at that, absolutely lovely. And then back to the scrambled tofu. So my sausages are cooking in the oven. I'm just going to drain off. The tofu comes in liquid. You just want to drain that off. A lot of the time we want to get crispy tofu, so we want to dry that tofu out as much as possible. However, for this dish, it's really not essential because we want a nice wet scrambled egg. So don't worry too much. We want half an onion, so again just a regular brown onion or white onion. Peel it. Take off the end. And then we're just going to dice it. This is a great technique. I've shown it a lot of times. We just split the onion in half, so I've kept the root intact. And then we just turn the blade on its side. And we can go into it like that, turn it back and down, and then we've got perfectly diced onion. Drain a little bit of that oil, and then we can start frying this onion. Into the pan. Again, you can put garlic in this. I leave the garlic out this time because we've got lots of garlic in everything else. I don't want it to be all too garlicky. I'm just going to fry that until soft. Then we're going to add in a little bit of flour, a little bit of soy milk. You can add any plant milk here. Soy milk is particularly good though because it is so much higher in protein than all the other plant milks. Oat milk's very low. Almond milk and nut milks are a little bit higher. So nuts are a great source of protein and good fats as well. So we talked about that earlier. But with the soy, you really getting a lot of protein in there. So 100 grams, 100 milliliters. You're getting about 4 grams of protein, so that's pretty good for a plant-based milk, right? It's obviously mostly water. So just soften that oil, onion, and then a couple of tablespoons, a big tablespoon of plain flour again, and then 120 milliliters of soy milk. Other things, we're going to add a bit of turmeric. That's really just for the colour, that kind of yellowy colour you get with scrambled eggs. But it's going to provide a healthy dose of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Turmeric is really good for recovery. If you've got any joint issues or any pain, turmeric has been proven to help with things like that. Very anti-inflammatory. So really good ingredient. A little bit of mustard as well. Just a pinch. You can leave it out if you want, but it adds a lovely taste, a lovely bit of heat. And then, one ingredient I just need to grab. I'll be back in a sec. Is this kala namak, it's called. It's a Himalayan or Pakistani rock salt. Really not essential, but it has a kind of sulfurous taste to it, pungent sulfur taste, a bit like egg. So it's really good for sort of mimicking scrambled egg taste. I've had this for a long time. It does lose its potency after a while, but it's still there a little bit. Not an essential ingredient, a bit of a specialist ingredient, I realise. But if you want to use some, please do. It also has health properties to it. Apparently, I don't really know what exactly, but it is touted as being a wonderful, healthy product. It's baked in ovens. It's taste-wise, it's really good. Okay, so those onions have softened. I'm just going to turn down the temperature slightly, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon plain flour, the milk, and then I'm just going to mix that in, make sure there's no lumps. Also going to add a pinch of mixed herbs again, not essential. And then the salt. So just add in regular sea salt if you don't have this. Oh yeah, I can really smell that egginess. Just cook that for a minute or so. turmeric, so not too much, because it will really make it a bit too bitter. As you see the colour change, it's got a lovely yellow hue to it. And then crumble in the tofu, as well as the optional mustard. Just crumble that wet tofu in. This is like I said, this is a firm tofu. You can add the softer varieties as well if you prefer. Just mix it in. You can already see it starting to resemble scrambled eggs. So keep that on the heat. If it starts to get a bit thick, add a touch more milk. And you can add in some tomatoes on the recipe as well, some cherry tomatoes. Or even some spinach as well. I've got a handful of spinach. I think I'm going to cook it separately, just because it looks a little bit nicer on the plate, I think. So just going to wilt the spinach a little bit. So in another pan, just going to cook a tomato, a bit of cooked tomato, essential for the English breakfast, and a bit of bread as well. Big chunk of sourdough here. I'm going to chop that in half. And we're just going to cook those eggs scrambled tofu just through a little bit more. It's pretty good now. Just kind of keeping it on the heat till I'm ready to serve everything. And tofu is such a versatile ingredient. You can get it beautiful and crispy. I made a lovely crispy fried tofu dish last night. Also, can really blend into things. The softer stuff. It's great in vegan desserts, chocolate mousses, cheesecake, fake cheesecake. And it's full of calcium as well, which is something we might be missing and something we need as we get older as well. Full of protein, B vitamins. So really, really good. Okay, that pan's nice and hot. A bit more oil in there. And then just put that tomato in. Put that bread in as well. You can just toast it, obviously. And then spinach can go in as well. So just a handful of spinach here. Mushrooms as well would be great. And baked beans. I forgot my baked beans, but that'll be lovely as well on the side. And there we go. literally just need a minute for the spinach. You have a dash of water, pinch of nutmeg, lovely in there. A bit of salt and pepper, a bit of pepper in the eggs as well. There we go. So I've got my toast, got my egg, got my tomato. Wilted spinach. And then scrambled tofu. And then one thing missing, got two things missing. So I've got my beautiful crispy hash browns. And then my sausages. So here we go. Here are the sausages. You can see they've been crisped up. Look at that, really crispy, delicious. Really got a crisp outer sausage, and in the middle it's still lovely and soft. Delicious, lovely and herby and garlicky. Really, really good. A little bit of ketchup, I think. And then a little bit of French's mustard as well. And there we go. There is my Men's Health Week protein-packed vegan breakfast. We've got the hash browns, we've got the sausages packed full of mushrooms and beans, spinach. Again, that provides a lot of iron as well, and some protein. In all vegetables, there is protein as well. And then we've got the herby tofu scramble as well, which is going to provide a lot of vitamins and protein and nutrients. A little bit of toasted sourdough as well on the side, and that's really going to get you going for the day, isn't it? You're going to be full at least till lunchtime on that. Let's have a look at the hash browns. They are so good, so crispy, oniony, herby, absolutely delicious. Really, really good, honestly. Lovely bit amount of salt as well, and then the scrambled tofu, absolutely delicious. With that Himalayan salt as well, you really get that sort of sulphurous eggy taste, like I said. Really, really nice. Honestly, you won't miss eggs at all with that. So there you go. Hope you enjoy making that. The only thing I think I'd add is just a little couple of spoonfuls of baked beans on the side as well. I'm just going to have a look if there's any comments. I can't see any, so you feel free to add any comments in Facebook. But that's it for today. Thanks for joining. I'm Ollie from V for Life. Please join again. Hopefully I'll be doing some more sessions towards the end of the summer or into the autumn. But thanks again for joining. Really hope you go and try this breakfast. It's absolutely delicious. I know it's afternoon now, but I'm going to be tucking into this in a minute. So take care. Bye-bye.